Magandang araw. Kumusta kayo? Okay, Mr. Chai, parang hindi kayo okay, no? Now, what I will be sharing with you this afternoon will be some insights on how we can jumpstart our sales, no? Now, what I like to do is to walk you through yung mindset po ng ating typical na kliyente na kinoconvince na mag-top up or mag-open ng bagong investment today, right? Now, I'd like to start off our discussion with some recent events, no? Now, last month, when we saw that the market, right. I'd like to start off with this particular discussion. Last month, most of you will be my friends in Facebook, right?
Yes.
I'm a very active user of Facebook. No? So normally what I do is that I use the Facebook to try to feel the pulse of financial advisors all around the country. No? Kasi maliban po sa ating sariling mga ahente, marami din akong friends na agents po ng ibang kumpanya. If you recall, no, last month, nung bumagsak po yung market by around 6% in one day, ang mood po ng ating industry as a whole is quite somber. Ang mood po ng ating industry is quite scared. Alright? So yun nga lang, nung tinitignan ko po yung situation at that particular time, no, I found a very similar situation kung ikukumpara po natin in a sales event. No? Kung mapapansin nyo, every time nakikita nyo sa mall may mga sale, no? Ang reaction po ng mga tao masaya. Right? Nung bumagsak po yung market by around 6% that particular day, ang mood ng mga tao malungkot. Okay, bakit po iba ang reaction? Okay. Why do you think the reaction is different when in fact the same event shows a drop in price? Pag sale, di ba, bumababa presyo? Ba't kayo masaya? Pag market, bumababa rin presyo, di ba? Bakit kayo malungkot? Alright, so I think this is the reason why marami po sa atin nahihirapang magbenta. It's because we don't understand why the market is reacting this way. Right? Now let me start off with some basic premise. No? Now you have to recall and remember that selling is a communication process. Right? That means that if we are not getting any sale, it only means one reason. And that means we are not communicating effectively. Right? Para makapag-communicate po tayo effectively dun sa ating mga prospects, sa ating mga clients, no? Dapat po maintindihan po natin yung kanilang mindset. Bakit po pag may sale sa mall, masaya? Bakit pag may sale sa market, malungkot? Alright now? Alright. Let us try to understand first, no? Pag nagkakaroon ng sale sa mall, for example, no, ano po nasa isip ng ating mga kliyente? Number one, they look at this as an opportunity to buy at a lower price. Do you agree?
Yes.
Pag may sale, diba? Pag may sale, lahat masaya kasi what? They recognize value. Yung mga bagay-bagay na gusto nilang bilhin dati na mahal, ngayon mura na. Right? Third reason is that every time people buy during a sale event, they consider this as a very desirable transaction. Tama po ba? Enjoy po ba kayo pag bumibili sa sale? Right? And lastly, kapag sale kasi, in terms of gratification, it provides people with immediate gratification. Ibig sabihin, pag nakabili ka ng 30% off, masaya ka na agad. Tama po ba? Right. Let's contrast this with a drop in market prices, no? Number one, ang reaction po ng tao is that people are hesitant to buy at a lower price. Bakit po? Nung una, bumibili ka ng piso, ngayon, 80 na lang, bakit tayo bumibili? Okay? The reason for that is that value is vague. Hindi po na nare-recognize the lower price means better value for an investor. Alright? Third is that making a decision at this point is a very uncomfortable decision to be made. Why? Meron pong takot eh. What if I buy today? What if the price will drop again tomorrow? What if the price will drop again next week? Okay? That is why convincing people to buy every time the market drop puts the prospect in a very uncomfortable position right now. And second is that if ever people decides to buy today at a low market price, ang gratification niya is something way beyond in the future. Okay, remember, we're telling people that when you invest, you should look at match this with a long-term goal. Kaya matagal yung gratification, kaya wala silang urgency to act. Now, let us try to understand bakit po nagkakaroon ng sale yung mga malls, no? Now, nagkakaroon po ng sale because why? Sellers wanted to get rid of unwanted stocks. Di ba, agree? Kaya po nagsasale yung mga tindahan, kaya po nagda-30 off, 40 off, kasi may mga lumang stocks sila na gusto lang i-dispose. Tama po ba? Right now, bakit po nagkakaroon ng sale naman sa ating Philippine stock market? It's because sellers are selling. Why? Why are they selling? They're selling because they are scared. Okay? Are you scared every time the market drops?
No.
You're not scared. Talaga lang, ha? Sabi na kayong benta. Okay.
The reason why you
Okay, pag-usapan ba natin a little bit more, no? Now, let's talk about the gratification side. And why is it that people makes easy decision pag bumibili ng bagay-bagay with a 30 or 40% off? Nang unang-una, it's immediate gratification, no? Let me use these shoes as an example. For example, this is the pair of shoes that you really wanted to buy for a long time already. Suddenly, nakita mo sa mall, 50 off. Bibili mo ba o hindi?
Yes.
Bibili mo. Anong motivation mo para bilhin yan? Una, mura. Second, syempre, pupogi ka. Ang ganda ng shoes ko eh. Pero kami running event this Sunday, this pair of shoes would make me look good. So there's going to be instant gratification. Okay? You contrast that with the situation where in prices in the market is dropping. Okay? Ano pong pwede mo maging mindset dyan? Iisipin mga tao, I will start preparing for my kids' education after our company's fund run. Bibili ko muna yung shoes, tsaka na yung education ng aking mga anak. And the common reason is that the market is chaotic. Hintay ko muna mag-stabilize, okay? Habang hinihintay ko mag-stabilize, enjoy ko muna yung aking bagong sapatos. Okay? Nakakatawa, but this is the reality. Alright? So people will tell you now, Jeff, pag gumanda na yung market, pag stabilize na, pag magulo China, US, etc., etc., ang dami sinasabi. Okay? But these are just reasons they tell you to avoid them making that uncomfortable decision. Okay? Now let me share with you right now some studies I've made. This is very interesting. No? This particular study covers a 20-year period from 1997 to 2007. During those times, so nagkaroon po ng parang survey on financial advisors on the reasons clients give them on why they don't want to buy at that particular time. Ang study na to covers the period between 1997 to 2007. Let me show you. Noong 1997, this is the top reason people gave for not investing. Sabi ng mga tao, market is slumping. You know what happened at the end of the year? The market really went down by 7%. Noong 1978, the number one reason ang sinasabi ng mga tao is that interest rates will go up. Kaya hindi mo na sila mag-i-invest. You know what happened at the end of the year? The market is up by 6.56%. In 1979, this is the first time oil prices went up to $100. Ayaw ko muna mag-invest, mataas yung presyo ng gasolina. What happened? The market is up by 18%. So if you see, for the last 20 years, sa lahat ng reason na binibigay sa atin ng mga kliyente, 17 out of 20 times the market went up. So ano pong dahilan binibigay sa inyo ng kliyente ngayon bakit ayaw nila bumili? I'm sure kasama dyan. Right? So 17 out of 20 times the market ended up. Okay, so what are we saying? No? Yung mga dahilan na binibigay sa atin ng kliyente is not because they're really scared of the market. It's because maybe we don't understand them enough. Right? Ang mindset kasi nila ganito, bibili ako if I recognize value. Ang problem with people not buying today, even if the price is lower, is because they don't recognize value. Okay, so how do we sell at this time? How do we convince people to start selling at this time? We should try to, to review with them the value of our proposition. Right? Now let me give you one particular example. For example, as of now, may kausap po kayong kliyente, no? And the client wanted to invest money for towards the realization of a future goal. Right? Ang kliyente mo ngayon would have three choices. He can start saving, investing money for that future goal using the bank, using the bonds, or using our equity fund. Among the three options that your client have today, which one is the hardest to decide? Mag-save ng pera for his retirement using money in the bank, mag-deposit na lang siya, bibili siya ng bonds, o bibili siya ng ating equity fund. Which one is the hardest to decide? Okay? But among the three, which one gives the best chance of goal achievement? Nakita niyo yung mismatch. Okay? While the decision is hard to make today, okay, it increases the chance of your client achieving their goal so many years in the future. Okay? So ano dapat diskarte natin? We should be able to bridge the gap. Okay? Ito dapat i-address natin how to make it easier for them to decide, because you and I know choosing this one will give them a better chance of achieving their goal. Do you agree?
Yes.
Among the three, anong pinakamalaking chance na matupad ang pangarap ng kliyente using the bank, using the bonds, or using a equity fund? Okay? So we need to bridge the gap. So anong approach natin dito? We need to review the value proposition. We need to sell the value. If you sell the value, you need to use what we call a value proposition approach. And this answers the question, why should I do this? In the mind of the client, ito lagi lang iniisip, bakit kailangan ko mag-invest? Bakit kailangan ko mag-top up? You tell them, sir, mababa presyo eh. Even if you tell them mababa presyo, they don't recognize the value. So what happened? They don't buy. They will tell you, Jeff, next time na lang, pagkatapos ng ghost month, isa siyam lang. Basta siyam, shimata. Pagkatapos ng shimata, tsaka ako bibili. Right? So there is a big gap, diba, between us wanting them to buy and them deciding to buy. So how do we sell this value proposition? Now, this is the value proposition of option number 3. Right? I'd like to state this to you in a very simple terms. We want clients to achieve their long-term financial goals by taking advantage of the earning potential of the biggest and most profitable businesses in the country. Naintindihan niyo ito? Ang kliyente may long-term goal. Tama po ba? The client would have 3 options of saving money for that long-term goal. Tama po ba? Unang-una, they can use what they've been using for the last several years, that is depositing money in the bank. They can consider using the bond market, or they can consider using the stock market. What we would want to do is try to bridge a gap between long-term financial goal and the product. So to generate the sale, you should connect this with this. Ulit. Para makabenta, 1 plus 2. What is 1? Okay, so how do you find out the long term? You need to ask. Okay, sir, why are you saving money now? For what are you making all these sacrifices today? We need to ask. We need to help them articulate their goals. Now, let me ask this question first. Sino po sa inyo dito gustong yumaman? Tell me how much money do you think you need para masabing yung mayaman na kayo? 20 million. Sir? 100 million. 50 million. No? Every time I ask this, nalulungkot ako. You know why? The numbers you gave me are numbers you pick from the air. You're not serious. Ganyan din yung mga kliyente. You ask them, sir, bakit ka nagsasave ng pera ngayon? Nagsasave ako ng pera, Jeff, ngayon because I'm saving this for my retirement. Ask the follow-up question, sir, can you describe to me anong idea retirement para sa'yo? They don't know. Jeff, ba't ka nagsasave ng pera ngayon? Nagsasave ako ng pera because I want to make sure my kids have enough money when they go to college. Saan ba magka-college yung anak mo? I don't know. Bahala na si Lord. I think that's where the gap is. People say they want to save money for long-term goals and yet they cannot articulate anong long-term goals nila. So anong role natin as financial advisor? We need to help them articulate those goals. Because if we don't help them articulate those goals, wala po silang reason na ibigay sa atin yung pera nila. Okay? Now let me proceed with this slide discussion. Kilala niyo pa ba to? Sino po mahilig sa peanuts? This guy, his name is Linus. Right? Meron po siyang tinatawag na security blanket. Ano pa ibig sabihin ng security blanket? Every time this guy feels sad, feels scared, ginagamit niya yung blanket to reassure himself that everything is okay. That's what we call a comfort zone. Right? Nasaan ang pera ng kliyente today? Nasa bangko. Bakit nasa bangko? Ang bangko ang kanilang comfort zone pagdating sa saving and investing. I'm sure you're quite aware of the total, deposits today in the Philippine banking system. It's already around 8.4 trillion pesos. Why is it there's so much money in the bank? Because for most people that you talk to, yung bangko is their comfort zone pagdating sa savings and investing money. Do you agree? Okay, so what do you want to happen? We want them to move money out of the bank to us. Tama po ba?
Yes.
In fact, what we're trying to do is that you're asking prospective policyholder to move out of their comfort zone. Dapat maintindihan natin siya in that context. If you're asking them to move out of their comfort zone, you should give them a compelling reason to do so. Chip, bakit yung matatanggalin yung pera ko sa bangko, ibibigay dyan sa equity fund mo? Eh, safe na safe na ang pera ko sa bangko. Tama po ba? So, paano mo siya makukonvince na ilipat? Dapat may dahilan. So, what is the most powerful, compelling reason you can give a client to convince him to move his money out of the bank and give it to you? Tingin nyo. Bulaga. Ano sa tingin nyo? Go back to the goals. Okay, but saying they want to save for retirement is not enough. Saying they want to become rich is not enough. We need to articulate. We need to measure. So let me give you my favorite example. Somebody investing for their retirement goal. Well, sir, bakit ka pa nagsisave ng pera sa bank? Kasi, Chef, I'm saving this for my retirement. Sabi natin, we should help them articulate their goals. That means we should have details. So what are the details that we need to know? Number one, sir, kailan ka magre-retire? 17 years from now. That's detailed already. Second, we need to understand under what ideal condition can this client enjoy a comfortable retirement. Kung anumang condition yun, nangangailangan ng pera. Tama po ba? Now, to make that happen, sir, how much money do you think do you need? Ang estimate natin is that the client needs 10 million to realize his goal, his retirement goal. Kailan siya magre-retire? 17 years from now. Sa time value of money, what do you call this? This is future value. Once you know the future value already, what do you do next? Bring it back to the present. Why do you want to do that? Because it tells you how much to ask from the client. Ulit. Why do you need to help clients articulate their goals? Because clients will tell you a lot of things, but unfortunately, they don't know exactly what they're telling you. So we need to ask more questions. Sir, bakit ka nagsasave ng pera? Para sa anak ko to pag kolehiyo nila. O saan ba mag-aaral yung anak mo? Bahala na si Lord. Pwede ba ganun? Hindi pwedeng ganun eh. Saan mo balak paarali? Sa Lasal. Ano mo bang ang tuition sa Lasal ngayon? Ganyan. Pag nag-aaral anak mo, ganyan na yung tuition. So ilang years na course pa ipapaaral mo sa anak mo? 4-year course. So do the math. Sir, to make that happen, you need around 10 million. Kailangan mo yung perang yan 17 years from now. So how much do you ask from the client? How much? Okay, problema ba kung walang 1.45 billion ng kliyente? Marami sa atin takot humingi ng malaki. You know why? You fear rejection. 50 na lang hingin ko para umuo. Kasi pag malaki sa 50 hingin ko, baka umayaw. The reason why you are in that particular predicament is because you fail to deliver the value of the proposition. Now, problema po ba kung walang 1.4 million ng kliyente ngayon? Hindi man problema yan eh. O sir, magkano meron ka ngayon? Sabi ng client, Jeff, meron akong 500,000 ngayon. O sige, akin na muna yung 500,000. Pag-usapan natin, kailangan natin i-build up yung balance. Diba? But review the whole transaction process. Nagbigay ba siya sa akin dahil natatakot siya sa market? Or dahil I'm doing this to help him achieve something really, really important to him? Bakit niya binigay yung pera? Dahil ba natatakot sa China? Dahil ba mag-i-increase ng interest rate? Tingnan nyo, if you do it using this approach, nawawala ang market sa equation eh. Nawawala. Diba? Why? Because clients want to talk about themselves. So what, as financial advisor, we should initiate, we should encourage the client to talk more about themselves. And in the process, try to find out and understand more what is the reason they're saving and investing money today. Tama? Once we find that out, we need to help them articulate and measure. Articulate means define. You should know the details. Retirement ba? Kailan ka magre-retire? Saan ka magre-retire? Saan ka titira after you retire? Things like that. Kasi if you don't ask that question, how can you come up with the estimate? Diba? Once you have the estimate, ano na ang next step? You compute that back to the present. That's how much you ask for today. You do this approach, it takes the market out of the equation. Now, this is just 1 plus 2 equals sell, diba? This is just number 1. How do you now sell the value proposition of the number 2 component? I'd like to use yung lagi sinasabi ng aking kumpare. Kumpare ko yan. Sabi ni kumparing Warren, every time you invest in the stock market, think of it as if you are buying a business. So what is the basic value proposition of our equity fund? Anong value niya? Somebody has a goal, tama? Long-term goal. As of today, your client have 3 options. Tama po ba? He can stick with his bank deposit. He can consider being a little bit more aggressive in moving that money to bonds. Or he can try the equity fund or equity market. Tama po ba? Among the 3, which one would give your client the best chance of achieving the goal? Alam niyo, equity fund eh. Over the long-term, equity fund beats everything. Alam niyo yan. Yung ano, takot ang kliyente. So at this point, our objective is to take the fear out of the mind of the client. We need to explain the equity fund in such a way that it is very easily understood. Ano ba yung laman ng ating equity fund? Do you know? 30 what? 30 potatoes? 30 carabaos? What's inside the equity fund? 30 companies dealing in what? In tofu? What? What kind? Kulang-kulang ang ating... Tayo na mismo kulang appreciation natin sa ating equity fund. What's inside the equity fund? These are shares of stock of what? Of very profitable companies doing business here in the Philippines. Tama? So you should explain it that way. Sabihin mo 30 companies, blue chip companies, etc., etc. Why would the clients care? Diba? Dapat i-relate natin yung benefit of owning businesses today. Now, since this is the advice of my kumparing Warren Buffett, that every time you invest in the stock market, that means buying our equity fund, you should think of it as if you're going into business. Let us first now review, ano po ba ang essence of investing in a business? Alright. Typical MBA question, why is a business created? Bakit po tinatayo ang isang negosyo? Businesses are what? Is created to sell a product or a service. Do you agree?
Yes.
Right? A business will remain viable for as long as it has customer. Do you agree?
Yes.
How do you define a customer? A customer is defined as somebody willing and able to buy their product or service. Do you agree?
Yes.
A business needs time to grow its market. Do you agree?
Yes.
So it should be sold this way. Marami sa atin binibigay 0.468. Look at the projection. Oh, so many years from now, this is how much money that you can. You know, I tell you, clients don't care. They will only care once you explain to them the relevance. Yung in a level na naiintindihan nila. Sir, ang binibili mong fund gives you ownership in these companies. We think ownership in these companies is your best option if you want to fulfill your retirement goal. Because over the long term, ownership in businesses gives you the best profit potential and earning potential. Now, bakit po nag-grow ang Philippine economy for the last 12 years? Is the Philippine economy growing or declining? It's growing. What is the number one reason it's growing? We have a consumer consumption-driven economy. Kaya lumalaki ang ekonomiya ng Pilipinas is because of what? Consumer consumption. Now tell me, do you understand what consumer consumption means? What does it mean? People buying things, people buying services. Tama po ba? Bakit po dumadami ang buyers of goods and services? Bakit dumadami? These are the core concepts that we should know by heart. The consumer-driven economy of the Philippines is growing. Why? Because of these 3 growth drivers. Every time an OFW from abroad sent money back to the Philippines, what do you think is created? Household with purchasing power. Every time a BPO company starts hiring people, what is created? Household with purchasing power. Dumadami pa sila o kumukonti? Okay, pag dumadami sila, what do you think will happen next? Companies selling products and services into this market will be able to sell more of their products and services. Kahit nagkagulo sa China, people will still buy. Kahit magtaas ang interest rate sa Amerika, people would still buy. You agree? Okay, now, companies are selling more of their products or service. What do you think will happen to their profit, up or down? If profits is up, what happened to share price? Mahirap ang ibenta. Mahirap ang ikwento. Now at this point, emphasize our value proposition. Sir, why am I convincing you to consider our equity fund? Why? Because this is a product that makes it easy and convenient for you to become part owners of these companies. Nakita niyo yung link. First, I try to find out what are the reasons people are saving money today. If they're saving money for their grocery expense next month, that person is not my client. What I want with a client is a person saving money for a long-term goal. Right, once people tell you they're saving money for a long-term goal, it's not enough. We need to help them articulate those goals. Once those goals are articulated, we now can be able to compute future value and present value. Nakuha mo na ngayon yung present value, what do you do next? Provide the solution. Diba? Ano yung solution? Our equity fund, our balance fund, our SEF, it's your choice. But it should be a fund that invests in the economy. Mamali. Ano man ang piliin nyo, you want to go balance, go ahead. You want to go growth, equity, SEF, bahala kayo. Basta it should be a fund that invests in the economy. Once you have that, ang gagawin natin, you provide that as a solution. Now let me ask you now this question. Lahat ba kayo bumibili ng gas?
Yes.
Ano mas gusto nyo, makakit yung presyo ng gas o bumabagsak ang presyo ng gas? Why? Because you see value. You recognize the value of gasoline in your life. Mas gusto mo, bumababa. Nare-recognize pa ng kliyente ang value ng fund sa buhay nila. Bakit din nila ma-recognize? Kasi siguro kulang ang ating paliwanag. Diba? So what do we do now? We need to go back to them and re-explain to them our value proposition. Alright, some review of a basic concept, no? Your client wanted higher returns, alright? But this comes at them taking on higher levels of risk because investment risk and expected return are relative to each other. Right? Now, let me show you this particular slide now. How do you measure risk pagdating po sa investment? It's measured in terms of what we call volatility. This is the volatility of the stock market. This is the volatility of the bond market. Between investing money in the stock market and investing money in the bond market, which one do you think is riskier? Okay, why do you say it's riskier? Because it fluctuates around much larger. Diba? There's a fluctuation, we conclude that investing in the stock market is riskier as compared to investing money in the bond market. Since you took on a riskier investment, what is your reward? Since you took on a lesser risk investment, what is your reward? Nakita niyo yung link. You want this, you should be willing to take this. Because if you don't take this, and you're only willing to take this is what you will get. Diba? Okay? So do you think this is a very logical argument that we can present to the client? Ang takot ng kliyente ngayon, Jeff, ayoko ng volatile. You know, Jeff, I'm a very conservative investor. Ayoko ng ganyan talon-talon. Gusto ko yung safe, secure, guaranteed, you know. I always want to say this, no? A time deposit, which is a very safe investment to a lot of people, will make you feel safe. But a time deposit will not make you rich. You agree?
Yes.
So ano mas gusto mo? Feeling safe or becoming rich? Diba? You cannot be safe and rich at the same time. So you have to make a choice. Now, what's in the mind of the prospect now? Sir, ma'am, I think this is the better option for you. Alam niyo, takot niya ngayon. Itong si Jet, nilalagay ko sa alanganin. Sinabi ko na nga sa kanyang conservative ako. And yet, he's recommending to me an investment that jumps around the land. Siguro gusto kong madisgrasya ako ni Jet na to. Now, is volatility something to be scared of? At this point, I think this is the issue you need to address. Volatility is not a reckless risk. Akala kasi ng kliyente, the reason why you want them to go into the equity fund is gusto mo sila mapahama. Mamali. Is volatility a reckless risk? What do you mean by a reckless risk? A risk that you cannot win. While it's true, prices jumps all around, minsan up by 200 points, minsan down by 100 points, is that something to be scared of? Nakita niyo na yung relationship between risk and reward. Tama po ba? You want higher return. So what do you need to do? You need to take on higher risk. How is risk measured? It's measured in terms of volatility. Tama? Is taking on an investment with high volatility a reckless risk? Alam niyo ibig sabihin ng reckless? Yung walang isip-isip, sugod ng sugod. Di ba? Bahala na. Is it a reckless risk? Yung bang volatility niya will always be there forever? I'm telling you, it's yes. It's gonna be there forever, but the effect to the client will diminish over time. It all depends on what we call holding period. Why is it that even though I know that equity fund is very volatile and yet it is still a product I recommend all the time? Is it because gusto ko madisgrasya lahat ng kliyente nyo? Yung mga sa tingin nyo aking intention, every time I try to convince you to sell that, no. Because the fact remains that number one, your client has a long-term goal. Tama mali?
Yes.
And your client has three options today. Tama mali? He can use what he's been doing using the bank. He can, move up a little bit and go into bonds. Or he can move up all the way and go into an equity fund. Three options. Tama mali? Among the three options, which one gives your client the best chance? The best probability of them achieving their goal, you tell me. Banks, bonds, or equities? Yung nga lang, takot ang kliyente sa equities eh. Conservative daw siya. Tama mali? So, how do you measure risk? Is it really riskier? Risk is measured in terms of volatility. What we'd like to tell clients now is that they need to embrace volatility if they want higher returns. Now, are we trying to tell them, convince them to take on a reckless risk? No, why? Is volatility going to affect them forever? Ang negative effect ng volatility sa umpisa lang. Because once the client invested already and the client stays with the investment and waited, in the next 5 years, ang chance niyang matalo drops to 10%. Ang chance niyang matalo after 15 years drop to 0. Now, this is using the US data, 75 years. Now, let me show you Philippine data. I've shown you this already. Tama, nakakalimutan nyo, over 20 years, 0 risk in equities. No chance of losing. Next slide. So, let me conclude. Bilis ng tapo, ano? How to jumpstart your sales? Number one, market volatility is a given. Given na yan, you want higher return. Volatility is something we need to embrace. Market volatility disappears over time. That is why we always tell client, ma'am, pag nag-invest ka dito, keep it for 5 years. Ma'am, pag nag-invest ka dito, keep it for 10 years. Ano sa tingin nyo dahilan why we always say that? Is it because we want to make more money? No, it is for the benefit of the client when we tell them to stay for 10 years. It is not for our benefit. Di ba siya sabi sa client, ma'am, pag invest ka dito, wag mong galawin ng 5 years, ha? Pag invest ka dito, wag mong galawin ng 10. Why are we saying that? Sa tingin nyo? Is it, to whose benefit are we saying that?
For the client.
For the client. Why? Because we know volatility disappears over time. The longer they hold on to that, volatility disappears. Third, clients are more interested to talk about themselves, so use this as an opportunity to find out what are the things really important to them. But once you find out, we need to do something more. We need to help them articulate and measure. Once you have that, use our equity fund as a product solution using what? The future value, present value approach. Do you now have confidence to go out there again? Is China a problem? Is interest rates in the US being increased a problem? It's not a problem. It's not relevant. The China problem affects the market today. Your clients invest today. When do they need the money? Today? Tomorrow? No, they don't need the money tomorrow. So why are you worried about things that can happen tomorrow? Nagkakaintindihan tayo. It's time for me to give you a test. Kala nyo, ganun-ganun lang, ha? May test. I'm gonna show you some numbers here. I'd like you to guess what do I mean by these numbers. Ang makahula, kanya na yung mic. Okay, kanya na. What are these? Net asset value ng ano? What I'm showing you here is the historical low. NAV of these funds, historical low, the lowest ever. So ating balance fund, the lowest ever is 0.9927. This was achieved March 22, 2005. Ang lowest NAV po ng ating equity fund is 0.9486. This was achieved November 24, 2008. Yung ating latest na fund, except the SEF, the growth fund, this is the historical low. What happened now? Ang balance fund from the historical low, it's up by 182%. Ang equity fund from the historical low, it's up by 362%. Ang ating growth fund, kahit bagong-bago pa lang siya, is up by 69%. I'd like to end with this. Historical low ngayon, SEF. What do you do? Salamat po.